Hello and welcome to all of you out there. This is the video about the new moon in Sagittarius. 5 things that are crucial for this new moon and what do we want to know about it? How can we deal with this new moon at the most positive, constructive way possible? And first of all, a little bit of an intro for in general, what this flavor, this new moon is all about. And then for the 12 signs, very shortly, precise and concise, what this area of life or what kind of area of life will be triggered by this new moon. So first of all, it's a new moon. New moons, it's always about endings and new beginnings. So something ends and something new begins. That is the energy of a new moon. It occurs around the 23rd, 24th of November, and it's at 1 degree of Sagittarius. So at the very, very early beginning of Sagittarius, it's the moon and the sun together next to each other. It's the birth of something new, you could say. Second point, very important, it's in the sign of Sagittarius. Now, every single sign, sometimes I get a question, Veerle, what is the best sign ever? It doesn't work like that. Every sign has a positive side and it has a challenging side. And it's up to us what we do with it. And of course, we want to go for the positive side of Sagittarius. But let's start with where that sign of Sagittarius can actually go over the top and become a challenge. And that's the whole thing. Going over the top is a very Sagittarian kind of trait. So we will have to watch out for that in a particular area of our life. Of course, I'll talk about that in a minute. But we will have to be cautious that we are not going over the top, that we are not going to be too overly enthusiastic. You could say, what's wrong with that? Well, it's only wrong if we pretend that we can do it all and we actually can't. We can't follow by our actions. Remember, Mars is still squaring up to Neptune, so actions around the month of November is not the easiest thing, especially with knowing our intention. It's still hard work for us to focus on the intention, and in that way we do some actions there with that Neptunian vibe. But that's for the other video. Watch the video on the Mars retrograde. It's a lot of information about that. But we are with this moon and sun in Sagittarius, which is all about be cautious of not going over the top. Be cautious also of not being the wiseacre. Not being the wiseacre. Sagittarius is a teacher and it's all good and well, but it's no use to force people your thoughts, what you're convinced about, your point of view, the glasses that you are wearing. Maybe you are wearing a beautiful La Vie en Rose glasses and you have a dear friend that you care for that is really wearing, brown glasses or dark glasses, and you want to force them to see things in your perspective. It's not going to work, and actually it's not your task. It's just your task to express this energy in a positive way in your life where you can be optimistic and energetic, but not with forcing other people. So that's another thing that we have to be cautious of when it comes to this energy of the wiseacre. And a last thing that we have to take care of is, the Sagittarians, they go for truth and, the truth, the whole truth and nothing but the truth. And that's a beautiful trait. But in how you are telling your truth is another thing. And that is what is definitely also a warning, that no tact, let's put it that way, is definitely a trait of Sagittarians to work on. It's a bit the shadow side of the Sagittarian but hey, the truth is the truth. Yes, but the way how you say it is also very important. You don't want to abuse people because you say the truth and then it's all justified. You want to do it in a gentle, proper, fair way to speak your truth and in a loving way. And that makes all the difference. So then we go towards the positive side of Sagittarius. It's definitely a time to broaden our minds. every single Sagittarian with a sun or a moon or a placement of Sagittarius that is so strong, they do have that in them. They breed like that, with a lot of perspective, with a lot of a higher perspective. And the thing is, if you are seeing things in a higher perspective, you can deal with reality better. And definitely when the reality is harsh and difficult, you see the bigger picture, you understand that it's an element of the whole, basically. And so we can use it to, in some area of our life, have a fresh beginning, have a fresh view upon things in our lives, and in a positive way, in an adventurous way, not like the know-it-all, but in a way that we are trying to experience life, and but with a very fresh look. Like, I've been living for like more than 20 years here in Ghent, in a very beautiful old city. And the Sagittarius way of going through this city is really looking with fresh eyes and like, oh, this building, I've never took a time to look at it and what it means. And let's have a look at that and see this a bit in a broader perspective, and be a tourist in your own city, you know. It's a beautiful thing because it gives hope, it gives meaning and purpose. Don't forget that the ruler of Sagittarius is Jupiter, and that is all about purpose. Purpose in life, if you don't have it, you know, it's a very dull life, it's survival, it's certainly not thriving. So we can use this to learn something new, to travel, if we can, to travel, to, if we can't, to at least read a good book that is about all these things, that is about philosophy, that is about the metaphysical side of life, that is about you being the element of the whole. And that is beautiful to explore, and hopeful and inspiring. And also, yes, to go for the truth, but also with an open heart, that you know that everyone has their own truth, and we need to respect that. We can't force it upon them, otherwise we become very dogmatic and very rigid, and that's not good for no one. So it's one of my favorite new moons of the year up until now, because we have, like, and that's the third thing, we the ruler of this Sagittarian new moon is Jupiter. And Jupiter is in the placement of Pisces, at the very last degree of it. So at 29 degrees of Pisces, there is Jupiter, and it's with Neptune. So you see, we have the new moon, the sun and the moon in Sagittarius. We have Jupiter in Pisces. That's already a lot of mutable energy that we have here. And mutable energy is there to explore, to go to the left, to go to the right, to explore all of this, to spread knowledge as well, what you've learned. And Jupiter in Pisces is very expansive as well. It's also about broadening your boundaries, but in a positive way. It's about empathy, it's about understanding, it's about seeing this bigger picture, almost in a way that it heals us, you could say, with this Neptune also very close to Jupiter. Neptune is like 22, 23 degrees of Pisces as well. So Jupiter is very close to this Neptune. So it can be very, very positive. It can also be very, very negative if you go over the top and if you say no boundaries. That's another trait to be careful of, that you have no boundaries at all. Like that you're saying, yeah, I'm gonna bow, you know, it's like you're so optimistic that you don't know your boundaries anymore. Like, yeah, I want to buy a new car, which is fantastic because you earned a bonus or something like that. And but hey, there's a difference in spending it on a Lamborghini, which you can't have with a bonus of, let's say, 10,000 euros. That's a beautiful bonus, isn't it? But anyway, so spending a Lamborghini on that wouldn't be wise. It would make debts and all of that difficult stuff. So you have to attune here. and to be with the feet on the ground. So, but if you use it with the feet on the ground, and we do have enough fixed energy as well, like this, the Saturn and the Uranus are in fixed signs, I think that will help in a way, but still it is a little bit of a lot. Why? That's the fourth point. We've got 7 planets in mutable signs. So this is a warning as well, that in our optimism, in our looking at the bigger picture with 7 mutable energies there, like the sun and the moon, Venus and Mercury are also in Sagittarius, which is also mutable. Then Mars is in Gemini, a mutable sign. Jupiter and Neptune is in Pisces, also mutable. So the strength of the mutable signs is adjusting, is being able to adjust. And of course, it's been important for human nature, right, to adapt. You know, your character really you create character if not only you're stubborn, no, but when you can adapt to the circumstances that are out of your control, and that you can adapt, and that ultimately you can thrive. And the mutable signs are definitely going to show us that it is time now. It's not time now to be very strict. It's not a time to say, yes, it's my way or the highway. I'm getting my feet in the in the ground, and I'm not going to bend anymore. It's not a wise thing to do with all this mutable energy. The best thing you can do is, we go a little bit to the left and then we go a little bit to the right. You know, that's Piscean energy. You know, the ruler of this new moon is in Pisces after all. It's a bit like swimming, you know. You know your core, you know who you are, you have the best intention and with love and all of that. And then you can't go wrong with just flowing a little bit. But it's like you trust that, which is also something very important for Jupiter, for Neptune, for Pisces, for Sagittarius. It is the word trust. You trust that the nature of things, where it's gonna bring you, will be exactly what you need. If you're doing that, you're very strong because you have your core, but you're also not neglecting that not everything is in your control. So a good tip is to be adaptable, to be going with the flow a little bit. And if someone has a good idea or a great idea, you say, yeah, okay, we'll see where it goes. So it's actually, if you are a personality that is very strong-minded, you could deal with this energy a little bit more challenging. This will be a little bit more challenging because the end result out of this mutable energy is going to be something that you didn't know what it's going to be. So if you let go of that, if you let go of your attachment to the result, then you are really doing honor to this mutable energy. And it's like the traveler, you know, when you are going to travel, let's say from Ghent to, let's say, to Vienna, for instance, you know, from Ghent, Belgium to Vienna, there is a straight, you could say, the straight way that you can go, which is very short and which is a bit, you know, everyone knows that road. And but there is the mutable energy is really about going from Ghent to maybe first going to the Netherlands, which is the other way, and maybe going to the UK, why not? And then going back to the south of France and then going to Vienna. So with a kind of a U-turns, you could say. But because you are doing that, you're meeting someone very, very interesting in France that can have a great deal, that can become a business partner for your new business that you are trying to develop. And maybe in the UK you fall in love and you have a new relationship, you see, and all these things wouldn't have happened when you go the straight line. So that's the story, basically, of allowing yourself to go a little bit more with the flow and to know that this is just temporary. But of course, to have your boundaries with the self, right? If you say, look, I want to go to Vienna, but I want to go to New York first and foremost. Maybe that's not within your budget, so you don't do it. So those boundaries, I think, will be applicable and will be very important for us to keep on going for. Now, And last but not least, the fifth thing, and then we go into very shortly into the signs. The fifth thing is actually my favorite, because it's that we have 4 planets in Sagittarius, not just the moon and the sun. So the moon is going to cross the sun, but then during that day, it's going to bump into Venus, so moon conjunct Venus, and then it's going to bump into Mercury, moon conjunct Mercury. This is beautiful. This shows that notwithstanding the fact this very Sagittarius kind of energy of speaking your truth and all of that, with Venus there, it shows that you want to do it with tact. You want to express yourself in a very gentle, loving way. And it's a very bold energy. It's having fun. It's very buoyant as well. You know, the moon and Venus in the buoyant sign of Sagittarius, that is energy for having a good laugh, going to maybe a stand-up comedian, and have fun with your friends and whatever. It's that kind of vibe. So we will all, in some sort of way, be able to tap in that energy of hopefulness and of beauty and of understanding. Mercury is about understanding, about communicating, and very loving messages that expressing love basically, but in a very purposeful way, is definitely on. So, wow, what a, we are warned here now. Another thing I didn't say is movement, sports. Don't forget that Sagittarius is a very sporty kind of sign. So it's a good time to do that. It's a good time to do some sports and to start with that. I mean, in general, absolutely. Maybe some dancing, you know, with the Venus there and the Mercury or whatever it is. And yes, but now the 12 signs. Let's get started with Aries. So very shortly, I'm going to have a look where this new moon is going to fall and the rulership. So this new start for you is definitely in your 9th house, which is the house of expansion, which is the house of travel. So if you can, dear Aries person out there, do travel. You can have some plans there that with this new moon, you kind of start doing this. And you can also start with a study of something, maybe a new language, the 9th house. You can start reading a series of books that is very interesting and very philosophical, but anything that broadens your mind. Of course, if you are a writer, a publisher, a YouTuber, you know, if you are someone that for your profession you have a message, this is amazing, because it's about a new start of expressing your messages and doing this in a new kind of way. This Jupiter, the rulership, the Jupiter is in the 12th house. So this is like having like on an unconscious level, on a non-tangible level, feeling that you are supported here, feeling that you are supported by the universe almost, you could say. So use this lovely energy. This is a lot about purpose in life as well. So you could be having, because of something that occurs in your situation, having more hope in life. Just like, not that everything falls into place, that's not what I'm saying, but just have more hope in how to deal and how to manage your life. That is the beauty of the 9th house. It's a very beautiful house. It's very underestimated because it's the mind on a higher level. And when the mind is strong, you can do all the other stuff, which is the relationship and the work and whatnot. So start with a new mindset. It could mean that you are going to have this new mindset or this new insight, and that can really have a knock-on effect on making changes. Taurus, this is happening in your 8th house, this new beginning. So this is a lot about depth and a lot about insight. So your interest could grow in learning about the occult, learning about what is hidden information and understanding that. And it gives you more purpose in a broader perspective. And it can be linked with friends and communications and associations and group activities, because this ruler Jupiter is in your 11th house of friendships and of expansion of your knowledge, your purpose, because you you are social. So it's a very social time for you, notwithstanding the fact these social activities that you're doing, whatever it is, it prompts you into understanding yourself better and the dark side of yourself as well. So you meet yourself through the friends, you meet your own shadow, and that gives a new light on yourself, and in the understanding and the deeper meaning, your fears and what holds you back. All of these things, you can have a big aha moment here with this eighth house. On a more mundane level, it's money. It's money from when you're married, from your spouse or from your girlfriend, boyfriend, or taxes, investments. There could be a new beginning that you rearrange something and it's more interesting for you, and it opens you up to more perspectives. Gemini, what an important new moon this is. This is all about relationships. This is all about new seeds that you are planting that has to do with relationships. If you are in a relationship, it could simply mean that there is a new start with your partner, that he or she is just starting afresh. You could say whether it is because of their work, they're starting a new job, or whatever it is, there is something new that occurs here. And it has a knock-on effect on you. It has a fresh, purposeful effect on you. It can also mean, of course, an ending. In some ways, don't panic now, dear Geminis, but if you've been having a very bad relationship, it was very toxic and it was all going down and no pluses anymore and all minuses, well, this can mean indeed the ending of that and a new beginning. Because the Jupiter, the ruled planet here, the rulership is in your 10th house of career. So you will be focusing as well at the same time on your career and on how you can grow and how you can have more purpose and understanding in the career. For those of you who are single, this can absolutely mean someone new that you meet through your work or through your career, and it's going to be a very, very purposeful, meaningful connection and relationships, but definitely a new start or a possibility or an opportunity that you can tap into. Cancerians, this is happening in your 6th house. A new moon in the 6th house definitely means a new start in your routines. So you're the ones that can definitely start with a new health regime, whether that is a different way of eating, a different way of doing exercises, of getting very active basically as well, moving the body, so to speak. Venus and Mercury is there as well, so I think you will enjoy this as well. But on another level, if you say, Veerle, I'm not going to do exercises, I already do them. It's about your work. There is something new here that is possible, or an ending and a new beginning, or a job that you've done and you start with a new one, or a project that is about to finish up, and so that it gives you new energy. And this new energy is also situated in your 9th house, which is the house of travel, the house of knowledge, the house of learning. So this Jupiter is there in that house expanding. So if you do have a possibility, do go out there, whether it is to a museum, whether it is to go out with on a cultural event or whatever it is, a trip or whatever, because it broadens your perspective and is going to give you more purpose. It can also mean that because of your work, you need to learn something new, or you are going to teach yourself to younger people. Could be that as well. Leos, this is lovely energy for you, as you are another fire sign, and this is happening in a fellow fire sign of Sagittarius in your 5th house. Wow. That is something, because I'm really excited for you, because you've been dealing with a lot of this fixed energy with Saturn and Uranus squaring up to each other, and the Leos are feeling it very strongly. And now this new moon is like a very light energy. It's like a new start, an ending and a new start of how you enjoy yourself again. So tap into that energy. Of course, it's the house of love as well. That could mean a new romance, a new And it's going to give you a lot of purpose in the area where Jupiter is, which is the eighth house, which is the house of intimacy. So sharing the real you, not only on a physical level, but it's like the body, the mind, and the soul. And being vulnerable with someone else can be a very scary thing, but it can also be almost a healing thing, which is what occurs here with this Jupiter in your eighth house. On another level, it can mean that you can have some tax returns and you can spend some more money on things that you love to do. And that is a good thing as well. And in a new beginning when it comes to your children as well, whether you want children or a new beginning in the life of one of your children, could be possible as well. But the main thing is the heart chakra. There's a possibility to open up here way more than ever. And I would say go for it, enjoy yourself, go to the cinema, doing some sports and have fun and be bold. Virgos, this is happening in your fourth house. This is key here. This is very serious business for you because this fourth house is about your emotional well-being. It's about a new start, an ending and a new start when it comes to how you nurture yourself. Literally, this could be an ending of and a new beginning when it comes to moving. But for most of you, this will be rather on a more emotional level, that there is some new start there, that you are being your own parent and doing this in a very gentle way, but also in a very fresh and purposeful way. Now, the ruler of all of this is in your seventh house. So relationships here also can get a new chance. That could be like a new chance with a person. There could be definitely new beginnings here. That has to do with a significant other person, so that you get this upgrade, whatever that is for you, whether it is like living together now or getting to know each other on a deeper, more purposeful level. So definitely very interesting on an emotional level, on a level of relationships, and you will keep your feet on the ground because you're Virgo, right? So keep that in mind as well. Librans, this is your third house. This is a time, if you can, to do a short trip. This is a time to go and have some fun with your siblings, with your neighbors, to do something bold with them, to learn something, to teach, to learn. If you have a business of your own, this could be a new start of a website, or and it has a broad public. The broader the better, the more international the better. So if you have your own business, this is definitely a boost of PR that you can expect. And Jupiter in your sixth house, the rule is your house of your day-to-day work. So definitely Librans who have their own businesses, it can really mean a boost of work, more work as well. In other areas, it's a good time to learn something, a skill, whether it is like learning how to drive, learning how to speak a new language, to learn a foreign language. It's a very beautiful time, and you could use it as well in your later on for work. Scorpios, this is happening in your second house. This is lovely. That can be a new beginning when it comes to money. A new start, a new project that gives an extra income, for example, or new hope and new little seeds that you plant to have more stability and to have more resources. But also it can mean that there is some new beginning when it comes to an asset that you have and that is quite expensive, for instance, but that you have a beginning now of how to buy that and how to acquire that. And this Jupiter is in your fifth house of self-expression. So a lot of you, for people who want to start a new business, this is definitely a very auspicious energy here. But remember what I said in the beginning, make sure that you have the feet on the ground and that you are very realistic. But it could mean really that there is an expansion when it comes to how you can be showing who you really are, and in a creative way, in a very inspiring way. Also, children, it could mean that there is a new start, that a child goes to, a different level of their lives, so that you have to do some expenses here. But whatever it is, it's well thought, and it has a broader meaning, and it has like a longer vision here. Definitely there could be a new hobby that you're trying to do here, and it's going to give you a lot of confidence and a lot of fiery energy. Dear Sagittarians, this is happening in your first house. This is fantastic for you. This is actually your new moon. It's like a new beginning for your life, so to speak, or a kind of a reboost, or a reboot, or rebooting, yeah. Because the first house is your life path. It's your relationships, it's your work, it's your purpose, it's everything. So there is this very new, fresh energy for you, no doubt about it. And it's also connected to your fourth house, which is your core, which is definitely who you are at the deepest level. And it's definitely also how you feel secure. So the more secure you feel in yourself, so the more you parent yourself in a healthy way, not too much, and like you're spoiling yourself, and not too little, you're putting yourself down. The more this has an equilibrium, you could say, the more that you can start this fresh new start. And it really can have a knock-on effect on many things in your life. It's when you are single, for instance, this could mean like a new attitude that you have in life, and because of that you're going to be more attracting people, things in your life, situations that are so right for you because of this new moon on your ascendant. It's your time to shine. It's you that is being magnetic. So the more you express you, the more you are going to attract the situations that are destined for you, and in a very natural way. So like, for instance, if you've been having an eye on someone and they are not responding, or you feel that you're starting to chase, or this new moon can help you, you could say, but it's not helping because it's a reflection of who you are, of letting this go and say, hey, but I don't have to earn this. I'm just who I am, and I'm not taking this personal. I am just this person, and that's it. Take it or leave it. It's a very bold energy, and be aware of not going too much over the top, and so that you're not forcing other people to tell them what to do and how they have to live their lives. It's a time of focusing on you and what is important for you, and you will see that the rest will adjust itself. And especially also when it comes to the nurturing side of you, when it comes to your home, when it comes to your family, there is this more purposeful feeling that you're having. Capricorns, this is in your 12th house. This is a very unseen new moon, you could say, but it's like a new start when it comes to, and this is related to your thinking, because the rulership is in the 3rd house. So the way that you think, the way that you communicate, and the way that you express yourself, and that you are being social, there is a new start here. And the new start comes from the being able to let go of some things. You know what they say about Capricorns? They are Saturn ruled, and they are, told that they are very, very stable people, and all of that, and that they don't want to, they're not easy to bend and all of that. But now use your imagination, use relaxing time. It's going to be so purposeful for you. And like going on a retreat, or going on some beautiful foreign country far away in a beautiful luxury hotel. It doesn't always have to be luxury, by the way, but it can also be actually a very low budget, because it's in Sagittarius. But it's like those things that you do for yourself, but you can really tap into that energy of inspiration, of feeling that you're an element of the whole, and of letting go a little bit. Do whatever you feel good, that is like escaping a little bit from reality, but do it in a healthy way, and you will see that your communication, your connections with people, that will improve because of that. Aquarians, lovely new moon in your 11th house. This is a new beginning in the friendship zone. Could be a new start there. It could be that a friend becomes something more. That could be possible with this beautiful new moon here. And it gives you a lot of confidence because you've got Jupiter in your 2nd house. Or it could simply mean that you start a new network, that you start a new, for instance, YouTube channels, Facebook, and then Instagram, all that kind of stuff, all these social things. It's a very 11th house energy, I find. And so it could mean that you do something new there. You end something and you're doing something new. Or you're closing off your Instagram account or whatnot, and you're going out there and meeting real people in real life in a new form, you know. In maybe people from different cultures, maybe people that are like-minded, but from a different background. And that is very broad. That is giving you light, purpose, and you feel good about it, and it nurtures your heart, your confidence as well. And but definitely when you also have a business of your own, this could mean a new start here with when it comes to your income, to spread and to grow here, because the 11th house is the 2nd of the 10th house, which is a financial house as well. So there could be a new friendship that is really this purposeful meaning here of a friendship that makes you grow and step out of your comfort zone, but in a gentle way. And last but not least, of course, the Pisceans. This is a super important new moon for you. And especially if you have planets around the very beginning of Pisces, like 1 degree, this is happening in the top of your horoscope. So if you work, this could mean an ending and a new beginning. So for a lot of you, this will mean like stopping with an old job and starting a new one. And that has a very expansive effect on you because Jupiter is in your sign. For others who say, yeah, I have a job already, but I don't want to, I don't want to stop, or I don't want another job. This could mean like the spotlight is on you because you have to do a presentation, or and normally Pisceans are not really keen on being in the spotlight, but this is another energy. I think you will like this, and if you do have something that you need to express, this is a very good energy for you. For those who are not working, this is a beautiful energy to start something new that has to do with how people see you, how the universe, you could say how society sees you, and something that you can do with a philanthropic touch, you could say, because Pisces is Sagittarius is definitely the sign of the philanthrope, you could say. So you could do something that is for the collective, or for that has to do with different countries or different cultures, and that you find a lot of purpose in by doing that. But and also, last but not least, it could also mean a parent. There is, because it's an axis of the parents, that a parent could start with a new phase in their life, and that has a bit of an effect on you as well. But it's a more opening up effect, or more of an understanding of the self, whilst a parent is going through something that is also expansive for them. So what a beautiful energy this is. And the Pisceans, definitely, it's because the 10th house is a bit of an ascendant house. It's definitely also a new plan, a new life, a new carte blanche that you are getting there to change a lot of things in your life that has to do with key areas of your life: relationships, home, your home life, your work. So there is energy here to start all over. And notwithstanding the fact you're like 63 or something, whatever. Thank you so much for watching, and enjoy this new moon, this rather buoyant, flamboyant new moon. Make the best out of it, and see you next time. Bye bye.